Oh man, the drip marketing for WuWa always looks so good, like so good. So, for the next patch, we have a big one. Now, we already had a pistol character for WuWa, just like a couple months ago with Carlota. And while I wish Zani was a pistol character, she's gauntlets by the way, the next pistol character is Chacona. I hope I am pronouncing that correctly. And if you're like, oh, how do you know? Well, one, I did watch the leaked gameplay because I am a leak enjoyer when it comes to character kits. And here, arrow attribute, weapon, pistols. And I will get into a bit of discussion, but first I do want to go over Zani because, to be totally fair, just get over her little blurb, talk about her design and what I want to do. So we have stars intertwined. Wait, are those different? Okay, so that's like just like the intro. Work will keep coming. Don't forget to live a little, Zani. Zani, a serious and reliable Montelli employee, follows a strict routine and manages tasks with ease. For years, she has clocked in on time without fail, finding as much enjoyment in her well-ordered life as in her carefully planned moments of leisure. So, for Zani, I initially planned, when I first saw her design in-game, I wanted to pull for her on my main account. Then I watched her gameplay, and I like it, right? It looks good. By the way, if you guys do not want to know anything about characters until they come out, yeah, I'm gonna be talking about both. Like, I'm not gonna go into detail about what exactly she does, like her kit details, but I'll talk about maybe the animations. I'm not entirely sure, because yeah, well, I will be talking about at least for Chacona. But yeah, if you do not want to get any spoilers, I would say click off this video because the rest of the video will contain spoilers. So yeah, she uses a shield, which people have been talking about because in-game she has a shield at some point in one of the cutscenes. And the animations look good, right? The animations look really nice because, like, she is gauntlets, as I said, but she does use the shield in combat. She doesn't have a gauntlet on her hand per se. She just uses the shield, which this is where the survey where, Kuro asked us, do we want more specialized weapons? Where I was like, heck yeah, I want more specialized weapons. And this is what I believe they were talking about, both with Zani and Chacona, right? I'll talk about Chacona in a bit. But yeah, so Zani uses the shield, and with her skill, she can turn it into a giant broadsword. But here's the thing, on my main account, I already have Camellia, I already have Phoebe, I already have Jinshi. I plan on pulling for Cartathea. I hope I'm saying that name correctly as well. All these names are weird. But I looked at her gameplay and I was like, I love her design, but do I really want to pull for another like full-blown main DPS sort of character? Which I feel like is in a way a weird issue that only really applies to me, where 90% of the characters in the game can be used as main DPSs. Which, to be totally fair, is not really an issue because, like, wouldn't you want to use I don't know, Barbara as a main DPS if Barbara is your favorite Genshin character, right? Instead of just having, and well, yes, I guess you could try. She's never going to be as powerful as an actual main DPS. So that's a cool thing Kuro's doing, but personally, it feels a bit overwhelming, right? Because you want to pull for cool characters. The characters look cool. The kits look cool. They're all main DPSs, so you can build them around each other, and especially when some of them have outro skills that buff the incoming character. So yeah, like, I don't know, it's a weird situation where I want to pull for every character, almost every character, because I wasn't really interested in Rocha or Brandt. But like Kuro is indeed like cooking with all these characters, and I'm generally excited to see what Cartathea's animations are gonna look like. But yeah, I'm gonna be skipping Zani. because I'm curious what we're going to get next. This Catatia, and I already put way too many wishes in Cantarella for possibly no real reason, because I thought she would be a good support for Camellia, but I did my research afterwards and I realized not really. But yeah. So Zani's design, you know, she's like the generic bodyguard kind of like uniform that you would see in a white plain shirt with like black pants, not plants, Jesus. But she does have the horns and the tail, which initially I thought, when I first saw her design in the teasers before Inazita came out, I thought were a bit weird, but they grew more and more on me. And she does change her form in a way, because she rips off both her cape and her sleeves when she goes into her ultimate form. So yeah, like as I said, animations and like designs, they are gorgeous. And now to talk about Chacona. Off we go. Make my poems light the way on your path ahead. Chacona, the bard of Inazita, is free-spirited, romantic, sincere, and passionate. On her journey, she sang radiant poems of saints and heroes, weaving tales of people, miracles, turmoil, and suffering, along with the sorrow of death and farewell. Ooh, this final part, the sorrow of death and farewell. Now this paints a picture of like what is going to happen during her story. Because that's actually a pretty good question. Is 2.3 going to be a filler patch? Because we've pretty much finished Rinasita's story, unless there is some way to revive the Sentinel, and that's what we're going to be doing next. Now, a filler patch right now wouldn't be too bad after... Or was 0.1 a filler patch? Or point 2. I don't remember exactly what happened in those patches. Anyway... but a filler patch could be okay to have at this point. I'm not too certain, but this whole sorrow of death and farewell, at least her story is going to be quite interesting, I'm guessing. But yeah, design-wise, I really liked it, right? She is pretty much a Dungeons and Dragons character. She is the bard, but does give like druid vibes. I guess you could say she's a nature bard if you really want to talk about it. And she's a pistol character. But we kind of have a problem. So for as much as she's a pistol character, she attacks with her microphone lyre thing. So from what I've seen in her animations, unless you're doing the charge attack, which, you know, she whips out a pistol she got who knows where, she uses her lyre. Her instrument. I'm gonna call it an instrument because I'm not sure exactly what it is. To be totally fair, I never expected this. I always kind of expected that gun character, pistol characters, would always be using some form of ranged attack. That's why the series is called Ranged Only, because that's where this is a problem. But she does use pistols. She is a pistol character, so technically I can get and use her. Now, to be totally fair, she looks more like a main DPS slash sub DPS, which so she's not really a support character like a healer. So the account is still going to be lacking a healer, which I'm honestly kind of surprised we're not getting a pistol healer. Anyway. But we have 2 rectifier healers. Honestly, I really do not understand what Kuro's goal is when it comes to characters and the combinations of elements and weapons, because we already have 2 rectifier healers, right? We have Cantarella and Verena. So, yeah, anyway. But yeah, personally, I'll pull for her and I will be using her. Because, why not? She uses a pistol, she has a pistol, she can whip it out and use it in her charge attack. Why does it really matter that she uses her instrument when attacking normally and in her skills? And her animations, like, she pulls out an orchestra in her ultimate. Literally. And has a rhythm minigame. Now, I do wonder if she is invincible during that time, or if she can take damage. Anyway, design-wise, like, it's pretty much like a bard. She does, like, the clothes, you give me a bit of Venti vibes, but then again, that's because Venti in Genshin is pretty much green and white, just like her. But then again, Arrow and Wind, light green and white, of course it's going to be those colors. But then again, the splash of red from her hair is a welcome addition, and we have another character with elf ears, which, yeah, it's a nice addition. I do like her horns. As I said, she gives very druid bard kind of vibes, and I am all for that because I love Dungeons and Dragons in general. So yeah, will I pull for her? Well, of course I will pull for her because I need her on the pistols only. Also, we'll be one character short of being able to have 2 full teams. Which would mean I should be, once I get her, I should be able to get through, and of course level her up and get a bunch of echoes for her and everyone else on the teams. But I should be able to get to be able to finish at least 2 of the 3 sides in the abyss. I don't remember its name. The tower, in the tower, right? So that's going to be really, really cool. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, why not leave a like, comment, or even subscribe? I want to thank you guys for watching and hope to see you all in the next one.